Hey, good morning, Morter Marchers. I'm Dr. Ted Morter. Thank you for being here with me today on this wonderful, wonderful fall day here in Northwest Arkansas. Just enjoying the weather. It's a little bit cloudy and rainy, but that's okay. We need the rain too. Hey, listen, I wanted to share with you some ideas that I was thinking about this morning as I was reflecting before making this video. I was saying, what would I talk about today? And I usually go back on experiences that I've had over the past few days and see how that might relate to something that may be going on in your life as well. I don't know. But the word tolerance came to mind to me this morning. And I thought back, okay, when could I have used, and I want you to think about your life, when could you have used more tolerance in your life? And what would the outcome have been like had you done that? Because you never know when somebody comes up behind you in their car, or they're riding your bumper, or they're saying a bad thing to you. You never know what kind of a day that they've been having. You never know what they're up against. You don't know what kind of challenges and turmoils they might be going through. You just don't know. And we tend to think, me, tend to compare what's going on outside to what's going on inside us. And it creates some disconnect. It creates dissonance. It doesn't seem to match up all the time. For example, Jan and I had our anniversary celebration, 32 years. We were celebrating up at Big Cedar Lodge this weekend. We went up there and stayed in one of the lovely cabins, and it's just a beautiful place. It's really nice. We had a nice dinner, and we're enjoying our time there for the day, and up in Branson. It's not far. And my good friend, Dr. Ralph LeBlanc, is there in Branson. He's got a great new clinic up there. If you ever get a chance, be sure you go visit with him on that. It's a beautiful clinic. I toured it. But back to my point, I digress here. Several times when I came out of a restaurant or one of the shops or something up there on the property at Big Cedar, there was an older gentleman sitting there, and he kind of looked like a homeless type person, but he just was always there sitting. And I noticed him a couple of times. And after dinner, when we had dinner up at the nice restaurant there, we came out, and there he was again at this place. And even Jana noticed. She goes, I feel like we've seen this guy a lot today. I said, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but come on, we're waiting for our shuttle. So we were going through the deal, and we got to this area where the shuttles would come to take us back down to our cabin. And there was a lot of people there. And I know I'd already called for the shuttle, and it was supposed to be there in about 5 minutes. So kind of eased my way up to the front of the line, or they kind of parted the ways, and the guy opened the door and he says, are you Ted? I'm like, yeah, okay. He says, come on. So I hopped on. There's method to my madness here for this story. So I hop on. So Jan and I get on. We've got this big box of a cake that they'd given us, and a bag of some gifts and things from dinner. And it was, we had a lot of baggage. So there was a seat right there in the front. So we sat right down there on the front row. The shuttle was pretty full, and probably like 8 or 10 people. And the driver was very, very kind. He said, grab a seat there, and I'm waiting on one more person. It's room 528. And I thought, well, that's strange. He said, we don't know their name, but they gave the room. They didn't give the name, so we're calling out for the room 528 in there to try and get them. He said, I'm just going to circle around the loop right here where the entrance was. I'm just going to drive right around this little circle. We'll come back, let some cars go through. We'll come back, see if we can't find this person. I'm like, okay. So we did that once and came back, and it's 528. They were hauling around in there, and nothing. So he goes, I know that they need a ride, and it's going to be 20, 30 minutes if I can't get them to go down there to the cabins. Let's loop again one more time. I'm like, okay, we'll loop again. Well, we get back. 528 opens the door, and finally somebody comes out from inside. It's a younger man. He comes out and goes, yes, I'm 528. If you'd hang on just for a moment, I've got to get my father. You know where this is going, right? So I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? Sure enough, it takes another, seems like forever, probably less than a minute. He comes out of the door through the crowd of people and comes back up on the shuttle, and he's bringing his father. Turns out it's this man. He's a veteran, and as he gets on the shuttle, he's kind of stumbling a little bit, and people are saying, here, let me help you. Let me get you. Here's a seat, blah, 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 and let me get you going here. And I thought, we could all use a little more tolerance. Some of the people on the bus, as we made that second loop, were going, come on, they're not going to come. Let's go. We need to get on back. And I got to confess, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Who is this 528 person? Well, it turns out he's a decorated veteran, and I could have used a little more tolerance in my own mind. I should have hopped up out of my seat, let him sit right there, but I was too worried about our packages and all the things that we were so thankful we got a seat there. I think this man would have been a little more appropriate to be sitting in that seat. So I learned about tolerance there, and I learned about not letting judgment cloud my vision about who's who and what's going on and people that might need help and people that might need support. So I appreciate you letting me share this with you today, because none of us are perfect, you know, and I mess up sometimes too, and I could have used a little more tolerance there. And I was more worried about our own packages and things and getting back to the room, and I didn't really pay attention to what was going on around me as well. So today I'm going to be extra thankful and grateful for tolerance, so that we cannot, I'll say I, but I mean we cannot judge everyone just based on what this moment and snapshot in time about what we're seeing them. Use it in your life with your family, with your friends, with your work coworkers, fellow workers, in your politics. Don't judge just a snapshot moment about what's really going on in the world around us, and that we tend to block ourselves off and close ourselves away from hearing or listening or doing anything except worrying about ourselves. And I'm saying this about me, and I hope that you can relate to it as well and think about you. I'm just telling you things that are going on in my life. Thanks for all the hearts and things. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being here with me this morning. So I'm going to be thankful and grateful today for tolerance, because I want more tolerance in my life. I want to embrace the feeling of not judging people and being more tolerant in not just what I'm thinking about and saying the words, but how it actually affects my body, how it affects my physiology, how I actually function. Because that's going to create differences in how I make it through the day and how I make it through the week, and the people that I'll be able to influence and the people that I'll be able to affect. And the same is true for you. You have a lot of influence over people that you don't even know. You'll influence people that you don't even know. People come up to me all the time and say, hey, I watched your deal you did on Facebook the other day. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're listening to that. You never know who you're going to affect. You never know who you're going to help or hurt based on what you say or how you act in a spur of the moment. So if you'll practice tolerance, non-judgment, somebody might be having a rough day. They probably are. And it might just be a snapshot in time. Never know. So I'm going to do my march this morning. I'll turn this way. I'll start with my left leg out. And I want you to do this with me. And I want you to think about how you could be more tolerant in your life. Think of a time that maybe you weren't as tolerant as you could have been in the last few days. Did you snap at someone? Did you make a snap judgment? Did you say something you probably wish you wouldn't have said? Do you have to go around apologizing all the time? I used to be in that mode. I got tired of having to apologize, so I decided just to shut my mouth and not do so much talking and do more listening. I think that's always a good thing. Less talking, more listening. Come on, do it with me. Think about a time you can be more tolerant. I am thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. I'm thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. Tolerance in my life. We'll switch the other way. I'm thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. Tolerance in my life. I am thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. How can I be more tolerant? When can I use tolerance to my advantage to help other people as well? Thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. I'm so tolerant. I'm thankful and grateful for tolerance. We're halfway done. I'm thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. Tolerance. One more set. Come on, do it with me. Thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. Thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. Tolerance in my life. Here we go. I'm thankful and grateful for tolerance in my life. Tolerance in my life. Tolerance in my life. So think back. Practice this every day. Because if you don't, you're going to get a lot more opportunities to learn about tolerance, and it might be painful. So I hope that you'll embrace this feeling that I have, and I hope you'll take it to heart and think about ways you too can be more tolerant. Thanks for sharing with me. I'll see you next Monday.